Heyo everybody, Haku here to talk to you all about Jujutsu Kaisen 0. Just watched it kind of last week. I'm a little bit behind on recording this. To be really honest with you, I already recorded this review once, wasn't happy with it, and I was like, I'm just gonna do it again. So some of you wanted me to wait and watch the movie after I did the first 5 episodes of Season 2, so I put it to a poll because some people also wanted me to watch the movie first, and watching the movie first won the poll by a lot. So sorry to anybody that disappoints, but I did it in this order. I've got a bunch of other anime to get to before I get to Season 2, so that might be a little bit of a wait before I get to that one, but in the meantime I've got a bunch of other stuff I'm doing. Like I just did Tokyo Revengers, not that anybody watched that video, that was like probably my biggest flop of a video ever. But I'm doing like Vinland Saga, I need to catch up to Hero Academia, Bleach 1000 Year Blood War, and a ton of other stuff. I will put my link to my Annie list in the description and everything, so you can keep track of what I'm watching, but I have a bunch of other stuff to get to before I get to the second season, and I loved the movie. I thought it was really, really, really good. I just have one big criticism, one big issue with it, and it's kind of a good criticism, a good issue to have, I guess, and that's that it's just too short. Like, I guess because of the nature of the story, it makes sense that I would feel this way. This could have been a whole season for me. This could have been an entire show on its own. But it was a lot of story. It was a lot of story that was condensed down to stuff it into one movie. And that's my only complaint, really. All of the story, all of the visuals, production quality was excellent as always. But yeah, everything was good. It was just my only complaint is that it was a lot of good stuff, just condensed really, really hard, like crammed, Tetrised in to one short 2-hour movie. Less than 2 hours, really. So I guess, yeah, let's just talk about it. I enjoyed it. I think that you can really, really tell that it was based on the one shot. So again, to give further information, because I know some people are anime onlys, they're not really into all the manga stuff. Very often, if you're reading Jump or just looking online in general, mangaka will post one-shots, and it's very similar to a pilot episode for a show that you're trying to get picked up to turn into an actual like full season of a show. You will post the one shot, and then Jump or somewhere else might pick it up and let you publish it as a weekly series. So if you look at like My Hero Academia's one shot, the Izuku Deku character was like, I think he was like in his 30s or something. It was like a fully grown adult, but then when they started publishing it in Jump, they changed it to be set in a high school. Or there were multiple different One Piece Jump shots. There are like so many prototype One Pieces, and some of them have been like animated and stuff as OVAs. And like different things about the characters and their designs and the story change. And I think that's the most common thing you see, is that the one shot will happen and then it'll be tweaked, it'll be retooled to turn into a weekly series. But occasionally you'll get something where it's like we start at the beginning of a series and it's just like, oh, that stuff that happened in the one shot is canon, but it's something that happened like a random side adventure in the future. Or it'll be like, that was a prequel. And I feel like a lot of people would call this a prequel to Jujutsu Kaisen, but to me it's really not. To me it's not a prequel, it's like its own story set in the same universe as Jujutsu Kaisen, just like a year earlier. And you can really tell, because Okotsu has a lot of similar things going on to how the main story pans out. The relationship between Okotsu and Gojo is similar to Itadori and Gojo. Also the fact that it's like, okay, you're up to be executed, but it's postponed because of Gojo vouching for you, and then you join the school. You can really tell that this is what Jujutsu Kaisen's original plan was, and it's actually really creative and different to me that the mangaka said, oh yeah, the one shot is still canon, it's just that that happened before and we're starting off with some different characters for the series proper. Also, I like the trio here. If I were to look at this, I kind of almost like, I love the trio from actual Jujutsu Kaisen, but I almost like this one more. Maki's amazing here. I loved her in season 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen, but I like her even more here in the movie. Inumaki as well, I really, really like here. It's interesting, Inumaki's design. Again, I try not to look at too much stuff about Jujutsu Kaisen because I don't want to get spoiled before I get into further stuff. But I'm pretty sure this is like, what he's originally supposed to look like, but the hair is too similar to Yuji. That's why it was changed once we got a year in the future to the series as it is now. And Akotsu, I think, is great. The only problems I have with any of these characters are, again, that we didn't get enough time. Really, those are the trio. Panda does some stuff. He does some cool stuff. I'm not trying to downplay Panda, but he is treated differently. He is kind of a mascot character. Gojo's kind of the mentor, Kakashi-sensei character. But Okotsu gets to go on and have his adventure with Maki, then goes to have his adventure with Inumaki. So he gets to spend time with both of them, develop their relationships. His relationship with Maki is really cool and all, but like there's some somewhat romantic-ish seeming undertones in there, and I kind of don't want that. I kind of just want them to be friends because I like the concept of just like the true love between Okotsu and Rika. Rika is great as well. It's just one of those things where I've been saying it and saying it. There are emotional moments in this that I think if we had been seeing them go on adventures, if we had a whole season or a whole show, a whole manga of them going on adventures, these emotional things, like with Rika, would hit so much harder if we had spent more time with them. The same goes for like power jumps, where it's like, okay, all of a sudden he's way stronger, and then all of a sudden again, Akoto is like way stronger, like incredibly talented, and sometimes it's like, wait, how much time passed between this part of the movie and this part of the movie? Sometimes they tell us, sometimes it was a little bit more unclear to me, and I'm like, how much time passed? Because he got very good very quickly, and I do think it would have, like, while it's enjoyable in a movie, I think if we actually got to spend time seeing that growth, to me, that would have made it more impactful. I think you really feel that with the villains too, where I thought the villains were very good, especially Geto. Of course, Geto is like the main course. And while Geto is really good, the big complaint still comes in where I just felt like we needed more time with Geto to establish him as a character and all. But Geto was great. Really went in on the, like, sorcery racism, really JJKKK in here. He went a bit too hard with it sometimes. I'm like, wow, that is, enhanced magical bigotry. But I thought that it was a good decision to have Gojo say that pretty much, I think he said like none of them were killed or captured, so that means we can bring them back in the main story later. I think that was good. Geto was seemingly killed, but we see him in the first season, so it's a situation where it's an imposter, or like some bigger bad could have come along and said, hey, I can bring you back, but you have to work for me, which is why instead of like promoting Jujutsu sorcerers as the next evolution of humanity, it's more like trying to let the spirits, or not spirits, the curses take over as the new humanity. That's why it changed. Really big Brotherhood of Mutants vibes. It's giving Brotherhood of Mutants with the way that they do the whole storyline with Geto of being like, humanity doesn't even know we exist and would mistreat us, especially the way that he saw the way the girls were treated, like out in rural areas when he saved them. It's like, we are treated horribly, but we have magical powers and they don't. So we could just kill humanity and start a new, evolution of humanity. The next step up can continue on society. So it does very much have that Brotherhood of Mutants energy there. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to say, but I think I've really gotten through most of it. Like I said, it was all good. There's more for us to see in the future because this is just kind of a part of the main story now. One thing that I forgot to mention when I watched Season 1 and reviewed Season 1 is I noticed the people in the opening that we didn't get to see at all in the show, and occasionally that happens. Occasionally, you're watching an anime, you see the opening, you finish the season, and you're like, those characters that happened recently with Birdie Wing Season 1 too, when I watched that, it's like there are characters in the opening that didn't even show up. Did they think they were adapting more than they ended up adapting? How did we get to this point? So I assumed, I was like, oh, that's probably a Kotsu, maybe one of the third years or something, since we know about them but didn't get to see them. But it turns out it's Akotsu and Miguel who went to Kenya. I like the detail of actually like name dropping where, not just some random place in the world, but name dropping where actually they are was pretty neat. Yeah, I'm trying to rack my brain and think if there was anything more. There's probably something I'm forgetting. There always is. I do like that we gave cool moments to like Ino and Mei. I think giving them cool moments was nice. Ijichi can make the barriers and everything. I want to see Ijichi do something cool at some point. I really do. I love Ijichi. But yeah, I guess that's it. I don't want to keep you all waiting anymore when I'm just sitting here trying to rack my brain to see if there's anything more about this movie that I forgot. But yeah, production quality was amazing. I love the characters and story. If I just had one complaint, it's that we kind of jumped from thing to thing really quickly and didn't spend enough time developing it. And that's like what you get from like how the story kind of has to be told in just a short one-shot / movie. But it would have been nice to have had the full thing fleshed out, you know? Either way though, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Like if you did like the video, comment down there. Tell me what you thought of the movie, what you thought of my thoughts and review and all that. Please no spoilers, of course. Like I said, I'll get to season 2. I just need to do... So I did 50 anime from 2022, and then hopefully sometime in February I'll be finished. After finishing the 2022 stuff, I was like, I'm going to do 25 stuff that is on, like 25 things that are on my, you know, planning to watch list, and then I'll get into 2023 stuff. And Jujutsu Kaisen was one of those 25 things that I chose. So I'm getting through all of those. Then once I'm through all of those, I'm going to do 2023 stuff. No clue how many anime I'll do from 2023, but I plan to spend all of 2024 watching 2023 anime, which will include season 2 of this. So I'll do that when I get to that sometime this year. But I have a lot of things to do first. Again, I'll leave the AniList link in the description if you're interested at all in following along. Plus, I'll be reviewing everything as I finish it. Unless I finish something and I'm like, I don't know about reviewing that one. Like, that's the only caveat there. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, follow on Twitter if you want. If you want to talk to me about this or anything else, talk to the rest of us about it on Discord. The server's free and open for anyone. Just ask and I can give you a link to it. If you'd like to help support the channel, you could drop a super thanks down below, help me to continue to make videos. Or if you want One Piece a bit early, and if you want a shout out at the end of every video, you could hit join down below to become a channel member. You could go to patreon.com/Haku of the Tubes, or link will be in the description, to become a patron. Patrons and members, like I said, get One Piece a bit early. They get a shout out at the end of videos. So big thank you to them. Big thank you to Chosen Regular Evan Holly, Magical Girls, FRNono and Smeller Dog, Cheriton Student, David Langstaff, Slayer Candidates, SG and Stan Cedar, and Pure Element Pate Ardialol. I think I need to upgrade the update the crowns on some of these. I think some people have been here over a year now that I haven't updated. But yeah, huge thank you to all of them for their support. Huge thank you to all of you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.